Do you want to know how to rank #1 on Pinterest and get thousands of page views to your website every single day? Well, keep on watching. This is Shruti from digitalempires.co, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about all things Pinterest search and specifically about Pinterest SEO. Now, in the last few years, I've had a lot of pins rank on page 1 on Pinterest search, and the way that I've been able to do it is by understanding and leveraging Pinterest SEO. Now, if you're new to the online marketing world, you might not exactly know what SEO stands for. SEO stands for search engine optimization. So just as when you're writing a blog post, you optimize that for Google search, similarly, when you're creating a pin on Pinterest, you also need to optimize that for Pinterest SEO. Now, when it comes to Pinterest SEO, there are 4 key ranking factors that you need to take into consideration while creating your Pinterest account as well as while uploading new pins to your account. The first factor is domain quality. Now, the domain quality here essentially stands for the website or the blog that you have attached to your particular Pinterest account. So how can you make sure that you have a high quality domain? So the first thing that you can do is to convert your personal account into a business account so that Pinterest knows that you are using it for business or brand purposes. The second thing that you can do is to make sure that you've activated rich pins, which essentially give Pinterest the metadata required from your pins to understand what exactly is your pin about and which article or which product does it relate to, so that Pinterest can match that not only in Pinterest search but also show that in Google search queries as well. And finally, to improve your domain quality, it is extremely important that you only pin high quality images. It doesn't matter if you're pinning your own pins or if you're pinning someone else's pins to your Pinterest account. What you need to ensure is that as a high quality domain, you need to have a certain quality of the pins that you actually save. So this means no spammy pins or low quality pins, such as pins would have dark images or that are not really clear what they're talking about. Making sure that you only save high quality pins to your Pinterest account gives Pinterest the idea that you have a high quality domain or a high quality website, and that is essential for you to have a long-standing good search position on Pinterest. Next, the second factor that goes into consideration when it comes to Pinterest SEO is your pin engagement. This means how many times has your pin been clicked, how many times has it been saved, how many times has someone repinned it, how many times has someone commented on it, right? So all of these aspects actually create something called engagement on Pinterest, which works exactly the same way as it does on any other social media platform. The higher your pin engagement, the higher your search ranking. This means that when you see all of the pins that are actually ranking on page #1 on search or in the top 20 or 30 search queries, those pins have had a lot of engagement, which means they have either been clicked, saved, repinned, or shared a lot to actually put them on a higher ranking. So you're probably wondering, how can my pin get a lot of engagement when I'm not even able to rank on Pinterest search? I got you. So what you need to do here is that each time that you create and upload a pin, you need to ensure that a couple of things are optimized before you hit publish. So the first thing that you need to optimize for your pin SEO is your pin title. So the title of your pin is also something that can come up in search results and should be ideally including the keyword that you want to rank for. So if you're creating a pin on the cheapest countries to visit in Europe, that should ideally be a part of your pin title. The next place that you need to optimize is your pin description. You need to ensure that you have at least 5 to 7 keywords that you have included which are related to the topic that you want to pin about and will enable Pinterest to understand what your pin is all about so that you can actually rank in search in the long term. The next thing that you need to ensure a high pin quality is your pin URL. So make sure not to have a URL or your link which is attached to your pin have random numbers or random jargon. The more text that is involved within the URL, the better it is. Ideally, if the keyword is included within the URL, then that is the best case scenario. And lastly, it also matters where you have actually saved this pin. So which board has it been saved to? How relevant is this board that you've saved this pin to? The third factor that you need to take into consideration when it comes to Pinterest SEO is pinner quality. Now, the pinner here is you and your behavior on the platform. Pinterest doesn't just care about your account and your pins, but it also observes what is it that you are pinning and contributing to the platform. Now, this means that if your activity on Pinterest indicates a low quality account or spammy or questionable behavior, then you're not going to be able to rank very well in search in the long run on Pinterest. Now, there are 3 things that you can do to ensure a high pinner quality on Pinterest. The first thing that you can do is to stay consistent. So whether that's checking in 2 times a week or that's checking in once every day, make sure to add 10 to 15 minutes every week at the bare minimum to make Pinterest understand that you are an active and engaged user so that they can also reward you with further engagement on your pins. The second thing that you can do is to save only high quality pins to your account as well as to your boards. Do not save pins that are either irrelevant or are not really that well done. The third thing that you can do to improve your pinner quality is not to engage in spammy activities. So leaving random comments so that people can come and check out your account, or even participating in share threads such as on Facebook, is not going to help your account in the long run. It might give you some short-term added benefit of having a little bit more views or a little bit more engagement, but in the long run it is detrimental to the quality of your account. So it is better for you to have as much organic engagement as possible and actually spend a little bit of time sharing your as well as other people's content on Pinterest. The fourth factor that Pinterest looks into when determining the quality of your account as well as how likely you are to rank on search is pin relevance. So this means that all of your pins and boards should be categorized in order of relevance. So if you are a travel blogger and you have a travel pin, however, if you save that pin to a food board or let's say a group board which also has food bloggers, that is not going to indicate that you have high pin relevance. And when your pin is not really relevant, Pinterest is not likely to rank that in search. This means that every pin that you create, upload, or share on Pinterest should be highly targeted and specific. Now, there are three things that you can do to optimize your pins for relevance. The first thing that you can do is to make sure that each time you upload a pin or you save a pin, you actually sort it to the most relevant board by title. So let's say that you have a pin on keto recipes, it would make most sense for you to actually save it to a board which has a title which is the most similar to keto recipes. The second step that you can take to make sure that you have high pin relevance is to clean up and organize your boards. So if your boards are completely haphazard and you have random pins which have been collected over the years and are just laying there and gathering dust, then this is the right time for you to actually clean up your boards and to make sure that only the right pins are in the right boards and there are no irrelevant pins which are in your Pinterest account. And finally, you can also optimize your pins with accurate keyword descriptions. So make sure that you only add keywords to your pin descriptions that are highly relevant, specific, and actually represent what your brand and business is all about. In the long run, this will allow Pinterest to understand what is it that you create content on, what is it that your audience is interested in, and what is it that they should be ranking you on search for. Now, if you want to learn more about how Pinterest works as a search engine and how you can use it to drive consistent traffic to your blog or your website, don't forget to check out my free masterclass, which is linked down in the description box below. There are also tons of other videos and tutorials on this channel that are related to Pinterest marketing that you might find helpful, so make sure to check them out after you're done watching this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe to learn how to grow your audience, income, and impact online using social media and digital marketing strategies. I will see you in the next one.